Hey guys, it's Banana Cooler, and I'm very happy to be presenting to you my 2024 NHL Stanley Cup Playoff preview. We'll be reviewing all of the series in the first round of the playoffs that begin today. We're gonna take a look at each series, who I think is gonna win, what I'm looking forward to seeing, and what to expect. So, if you're a big NHL fan, you know that the playoffs are the best time of the year. The first round's always great. Second round's personally my favorite round because you get some of the pretenders eliminated. But the first round's always entertaining. I'm looking forward as two big series for sure. One is the Battle of Florida, Florida and Tampa Bay. These two teams do not like each other. Florida is a really tough team. Tampa is going to match their toughness, I think. So we're really looking forward to that one. The other one is Dallas Vegas. I think Dallas is a real up and coming team, and they're going to be up against the defending Stanley Cup champions in the first round. So what a draw for them. They have some pretty great young talent on that team and a strong goaltender, but we have a lot of rounds. We also have Winnipeg, Colorado, Vancouver, Nashville, Edmonton, LA, Boston, and Toronto, which could have some people crying in their cereal real quick. The Rangers and the Capitals. So the Grade 8 is in the playoffs. That's great news for everybody that likes the NHL. And Carolina and the Islanders. So we'll be going through all of those. Stay tuned. Stick around. Please subscribe. And really looking for comments on this one as I'm going to be making predictions. So, if you don't like my prediction, let me know. Right on, here we go. All right, guys, so let's start on the first bracket with the Dallas Stars and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So this is going to be a really interesting series, I think. We have a lot of talent on both teams. It's a rematch of last year's Western Conference final. The Golden Knights took the Stars out in 6 games. But the Stars had a really strong season this year. So they clinched the Central Division, and they were the number 1 seed in the Wild Wild West. So that's great. They added Matt Duchene, who I think is really going to make a big difference for this team in the playoffs. And, the Otter. You got the Otter in net. You got a chance to win. The guy's capable of making a run and definitely winning a series all by himself. You have Jason Robertson. There's so much good talent on this team. I think you have the Knights, and anytime you're the defending Stanley Cup champions, everybody's coming to get you. Mark Stone will be back. Wink, wink. What a coincidence that he's back at playoff time again. So we'll see how that goes. They signed Noah Hannafin. I think they extended him, I think, for 8 years. They got him from Calgary. So I'm glad they signed him for 8 years instead of my Flames doing that. And Thomas Hertl they have as well. Plus they have such a stout team. They play really balanced hockey, and I think it should be an entertaining series. But my prediction is Dallas wins this one in 6 games. All right, guys, so the second bracket we're going to look at is the Winnipeg Jets and Colorado Avalanche. Now, I think this is going to be a really interesting series from the fact of you have the number 1 offensive team against the number 1 defensive team in Winnipeg. So Colorado stacked. I mean, Nathan MacKinnon, in my opinion, is the MVP of the league this season. I think he's such a skilled player, so much talent. Controversially, maybe, but I think he's the best player in the league right now. And I'm sure the Connor McDavid fans won't be happy with that one. But anyways, back to the series. So I think this is the first time these two teams have met each other in the playoffs. So that's always interesting. Jets are old school. I remember watching our first incarnation of the Jets as a kid, so a little bit of my heart wants to cheer for them, but I don't think they're gonna have a chance in this one. The Avalanche, they were out early last year in the playoffs, and Like I said, McKinnon, 51 goals, 138 points. Super impressive. The Jets did win 51 games, and Hellebuck is a really strong goalie. I just think they're overmatched with McKinnon and Makar, and I think, in my opinion, the most underrated player in the league is Mikko Rantanen. Too much firepower, and don't forget they have Taves too. So it's going to be I think it's going to be over quick. I think Winnipeg might get the one game, and the Avs in the gentleman's sweep. So I taken the Avs in 5, but should be a lot of firepower in this one. I don't think the Jets will be able to shut them down. So, yep, Avs in 5. So next series we're going to review is Nashville-Vancouver. So Canucks versus Preds. Another first-time playoff meeting between two teams. I think this is going to be a big one for the Canucks. I think that special teams is going to be important in this one. The Preds were out early last year. They have Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi, but I think they're just going to get overpowered by the Canucks. Elias Pettersson had a great year. Quinn Hughes, definitely Norris candidate. Lots of speed on this team. They met each other in the regular season this year, and the Canucks dominated that. I think I'm going to go, not much to say on this one. I think I'm going to go actually Canucks in 4 on this one, as much as I hate to say that, because I'm not a Canucks guy at all, but Canucks in 4. All right, so the next round we're going to talk about is really hard for me to talk about because I really don't like the Oilers. Can't stand them, to be honest. I'm sure I'll get crushed in the comments from the Oiler fans, but you got to be honest. This is the 3rd year in a row they play the Kings in the first round. I think it's going to go similarly to how it has the last couple of years. If you look back at the Oilers season, definitely been an interesting one. Started off the season really poorly. One among the worst teams in the league. Changed coaches, Woodcroft out, Knobloch in, and what do you know? They had a great finish to the year. Anytime you have McDavid and Draisaitl on your team, you have a chance to put a run together. They are so talented. 2 of the top 5 players in the world right now on the same team, and if you're gonna make mistakes and take penalties, boy oh boy, they are gonna make you pay. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they shut those guys down, and that's how the Kings are gonna win, by trying to shut those guys down. But they have Zach Hyman again. They signed Perry, and the guy we won't mention, sometimes he does well too. He had a good playoffs last season. I don't think the Kings have enough at all to get past the Oilers in this one. Game 1 on Monday. I think it's going to be a short series. I think it'll be over by next Sunday. Let's go Oilers in 4 on this one. And like I said, as much as it pains me to take it, I just don't see a path for the Kings at all in this series. Outgunned, undermanned, and like I said, if you put this team on the power play, you're finished. So if they take any dumb penalties, it's going to be painful. So like I said, Oilers in 4. All right, so next bracket is the Carolina Hurricanes and New York Islanders. They faced off last year in the playoffs with the Hurricanes winning in 6 games. I personally don't see it going any different. The Hurricanes had a really strong record, 52 wins this season. They have Aho, they have Antti Ranta, they have a pretty solid team overall. Brindamore is a great coach, I feel like. And the Islanders, they did switch coaches, and they have Patrick Waugh, who's a fiery guy. Has always been, as a player, was always great in the playoffs. I just don't see a path for the Islanders to beat Carolina. I do think the series will be tight. I don't think there's one team is so much better than the other one in this one. It's going to be a tough matchup for sure. This one kicks off Saturday, which is today, so I feel like that's we'll get really started on that one. It's going to be a lot of tight checking hockey. Could be a physical series. I'm going to take Carolina in 6 for this one. All right, next bracket is a beauty. You got the Capitals and the Rangers, and the Capitals knocked the Rangers out of the playoffs last season. The Rangers are going to be out for blood. They had a great season, like an unbelievable season. So they are not going to be going out in the first round in this one, in my opinion. But what a great series. You have Panarin from the Rangers, star power. You have the great 8, Alexander Ovechkin, who unbelievably is going to have a chance in the next 2 seasons to overtake Wayne Gretzky for goals. But let's get back to that. But yeah, you have the grade 8 versus the bread man. I think it's going to be super interesting how this one goes, but I don't see a path for the Capitals to win this one. Rangers just too strong of a team, great defense, solid goaltending, and I feel like just overall a better team. So I'm actually going to take the Rangers in 5 in this one. All right, guys, we're on to the second last bracket of the first round, and this is going to be something. We have the Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and someone's going to be really sore when this one's done. I think these two teams are going to play a physical series, which really, to me, favors the Bruins. Last year, the Bruins went out early after having a great regular season. Toronto goes out early every season. Seems like, great season this year from Austin Matthews, just short of 70 goals, which is fantastic. Lots of star power on this team. Mitch Marner, great player. Goaltending for them, big question for me for the Leafs is their goaltending, and that's a really great thing for the Bruins. Allmark and Swayman, both great goalies. We'll see who they play. It's a nice problem to have. I think there's going to be a lot of sad people in Toronto by the end of the series, which will make a lot of people happy across Canada. I don't see the Leafs doing what it takes to beat the Bruins in this series. I think the Bruins goaltending is too good. I think the Leafs defense is not good, and like I said, the Leafs goaltending very suspect. So we'll see how this one goes, but I'm thinking Boston in 7 for this one, 7-game series. So there'll be a lot of tears at the end of this one in Toronto. All right, well that was quick. We're down to the last bracket, and I saved the best for last, or at least what I think is going to be the best for last. We have the Battle of the Sunshine State, the Battle of Florida, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Florida Panthers. These two teams absolutely don't like each other. Every time they play, there's fireworks, there's a lot of chippiness, there's a lot of fights, and I don't think this is going to be any different. You have Kucherov, probably the best player for the Lightning. You have Tkachuk for the Panthers, and Tkachuk's a grimy guy. Broke his sternum in the final last year, and had to get his brother to do up his skates. That's a whole other story, but Florida lost in the finals to Las Vegas last year. What a great run they had. Barely made it into the playoffs. This year's been different, but I think this series is going to be really tight. And like I said, this is going to be the one to watch for me. Florida has some really good talent on their team. Sam Reinhart had a great season this year. Over 50 goals for him, first time in his career. Like I said before, you have Kucherov, for Tampa. Had an amazing season again. Definitely a Hart Trophy candidate. You still have Victor Hedman, but you have Andre Vasilevsky in goal. And I think if Vasilevsky plays like we know he can play, this is going to be a tough series for Florida to get through. Now, I don't have a big feeling one way or the other. That one team's gonna just overpower the other one. I just don't see a path for the Panthers to take out Tampa, and that's their big brother. They want to beat up the big brother and finally get over that hump, and they have beaten them before, but I think this is going to be a 7-game series. This is going to has a chance to be the series of the entire playoffs. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in the second round, third round, the finals, but I think this has a chance to be the series of the playoffs. It's the one I'm looking the most forward to, and I am going to take Tampa Bay in 6 in this one. I don't see a path for the Panthers. Like I said, Vasilevsky, Kucherov, Hedman, Stamkos. It's a lot of talent on one team, and like I said, Florida has a lot of talent too. But let's see how it goes. But you can't miss a single game in this series. This is going to be a movie, this series. So maybe a 30-30 down the road. So enjoy, and like I said, leave your comments and subscribe, and we'll see you when the second round starts. Thanks, guys. Banana Cooler signing off.